So, now that we've got the March Mystery Madness out of the way, and are back in sensible clothing, it's time for the rest of the TBR for March. Now, March's TBR is going to be a little bit nebulous because the Realmathon prompts are a bit more complicated. There's fewer prompts than Battle of the Girl Bands. However, they can be combined in different ways, and so rather than come up with a specific TBR, I went through my books and gathered up all the books that have white covers, at least 50% white, because I have joined the Time Realm for Realmathon. Were you considering what team to join? Would you like to be on my team? That's my team. Actually, the Time Realm is not the smallest team. So unlike Battle of the Girl Bands, where I joined the smallest team kind of on purpose, this time it's actually the second largest last time I looked. So not the underdog, although most of the people I interact with on sprints are not in time. Most of them are actually in Shadow. There are a couple in Blood and a couple in Creation. But I think I've only come across one person I already know that is also in Time. So it should be an interesting month. Yeah, I've gathered up lots of white books. I will be showing off a whole list of them. That's kind of what I'm going to do for my TBRs for every week for March, is just lists of books that happen to be white or that happen to be mysteries, books that are among the ones I'm choosing from. And I'm just going to leave my actual TBR rather fluid so that I have a little bit more flexibility for what I'm going to read, since the prompts are not quite as narrowing as the girl band prompts. So first of all, I'm going to get one more book. I gather up dozens of books, and you still need one more book. So I did get the number for the 24 tomes for 24, for which the number comes from the Reading 1001 TBR Takedown game. The number for March is 7. So the Last Chronicle of Barset is my TBR Takedown book for that game, which I think I have in paperback, but I don't know where it is. It will probably be as an audiobook, and I'll probably have the ebook from Project Gutenberg alongside when I need it. So I do probably have it somewhere, though. By the time I get around to showing what I finished at the end of the month, hopefully I'll have found the book. But 7 for my tomes corresponds to Fiction 100, an anthology of short stories. So this will be what I'm reading for the Tomes Challenge for March. I did just finish the first of the 2 volumes of Sources of Chinese Tradition from January. Yes, I know, it's from January. I didn't make much progress in Karl Marx in February. I started Capital, the first volume, but I just wasn't fitting it into prompts. I wasn't feeling it. I might make some progress on it in March. With the Tomes project, as long as I'm making progress, though, that's the point. It's not to finish it in a particular month. So I for sure will be starting this book in March, and I might finish it. I like short stories. They go pretty quickly. It's a horrendously fat book, but probably pretty readable. It is it is double columned though. Yeah, it's a double columned anthology book. So it will be a lot of pages and a lot of reading. But I'll make progress and it'll be done eventually. It's over 1,000 pages long. Double columned. Yeah. So if I can fit it into a prompt for Realmathon, it'll at least be a very long book. And there are extra points for length. But I don't know. It doesn't seem to have an object on the cover either. It has no, it has a loot. It does have a loot. This one would work for pretty much any of the teams because it has a loot, a person, and a lion. So, yeah. So if any other teams wanted to take on reading Fiction 100, an anthology of short stories, second edition by James H. Pickering, it does have the things on the cover for several of the teams. It's going to be a long one, though. So now gets the fun part. Jamie reads you a whole bunch of titles of books and shows you the covers in quick succession. Yeah, this is going to be March for you guys. Hold on to your hats. I actually didn't pick a different hat after the last video. So, first book, Made at Arms by Enid Cushing. This is actually a pseudonym for Andre Norton. This is one of Andre Norton's books. If you can hear any hissing in the background, Snowball, the new cat, is discussing with one of the other cats whether they get the same part of the living room. So, we might see cats. I have The Coup by John Updike. My brother really likes John Updike, so he foisted a whole bunch of Updike on me. But this one is white. White is good. It also has a weapon of some sort on the cover. So, yeah. Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. One that a classmate in undergrad strongly recommended. And I came across it a while ago and remembered they talked about it. Probably really good. Best short stories, 35 great yarns by top writers. Stories of 5 Decades by Hermann Hesse. Hole in the Sky by William Kitteridge. This one's got some serious water damage on it. Hi, Snowball. Are you a cat? Yeah. Room by Emma Donahue, which I've heard good things about. Yeah, baby. Hi, kiddo. Yeah. Trickster Makes This World by Lewis Hyde. This one's nonfiction. Baby dude. Yeah. Clock Without Hands by Carson McCullers. If you've seen my earlier TBR videos for January and I think sometime last year as well, I still have only finished maybe 20 pages of Purity by Jonathan Franzen. It's a white cover. It's been on my TBRs way too long. So it is going to be done by the end of March. Yeah. It's not a bad book. I'm just not into it yet. Charming Billy by Alice McDermott. This is a National Book Award winner. Interface by Neil Stevenson and J. Frederick George. The Call of Cthulhu and Other Weird Stories by H.P. Lovecraft. The Solitude of Prime Numbers by Paolo Giordano. That's right. And this is nonfiction. The Fish Can Sing by Haldor Laxness. The Redbreast by Joe Nesbo. Drown by Junot Diaz. This is one of those that is why I picked the time realm. Because this is an arc. I have a lot of arcs. This one's actually brand new. This one arrived yesterday. So I'm looking forward to it. It's not white on the front, but it's white on the back. All white on the back. And a lot of my arcs are at this stage. It's an uncorrected proof. So I have quite a few of these that I'm going to try and finish in March because at least 50% of the book is white. Yeah. So we'll see how many I actually finish, but most of them are a lot older. This one's brand new, but I have quite a few arcs stacked up that you'll see throughout March, hopefully, that I've had for a while. The book has long since been published. I just need to finish the books. So that new one was Cinema Love by Jiamin Tang. Goodbye Columbus by Philip Roth. The Impossible Knife of Memory by Laura Halls Anderson. Tyrant of the Mind, a Medieval Mystery by Priscilla Royal. Which is also a murder mystery. We like that. And I also have another Priscilla Royal book, Sorrow Without End, which is also white. And a third, Justice for the Damned, also a Priscilla Royal. I have Unnatural Causes by P.D. James, which has an all-white back. Alright. Narcissus and Goldmund by Hermann Hesse. This is one I've intended to read for literally decades. So it'll be the last major work by Hermann Hesse that I need to read. It should happen in March. It was white a long time ago. It lost its cover. Its cover was mostly white too. Yeah. This is 9 Coaches Waiting by Mary Stewart, and also fits the book with 9 in the title for March Mystery Madness. I'd forgotten I had this one still. So that one is good. An Evil Hour by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Contemporary American Short Stories, which is also missing its cover at this point. An Anthropologist on Mars by Oliver Sacks. That one is nonfiction. There's one with white. kind of 50%. Yeah, I would say it's, add that to that. Yeah, it's 50%. The Loving Spirit by Daphne du Maurier. This is a reread, but it's a reread that I read the first time in 2000, maybe even earlier. So it's been long enough, I definitely could reread it. To Say Nothing of the Dog by Connie Willis. Here's another one that's white on the cover, on the back anyway. Quest Cross Time by Andre Norton. And this one also does have an object on it. I think that's a satellite. It might be a weapon. It is sci-fi. It could be a satellite or a weapon or something else. Sitka by Louis L'Amour. Set in a very cold and wintry climate. It's one of the few Louis L'Amours that's not set in the West, like my part of the West. So that should be interesting. Utopia or Oblivion, The Prospects for Humanity by R. Buckminster Fuller. One, Two, Three, Infinity by George Gamow. This is nonfiction, and George Gamow was a professor at the University of Colorado. So he is a local to my region author. And I think Connie Willis is too. I've heard that she's connected to Parker, Colorado. The Titan by Theodore Dreiser has got more than 50% white. I've got a couple other Theodore Dreiser books that might make it into March if I like this one. Reality, Man, and Existence, Essential Works of Existentialism. Kierkegaard, Sartre, Nietzsche, Jaspers, Buber, Merleau-Ponty. So that should be interesting. I've read some of about half of the authors in this one. One of the few Steinbecks I still have to read, The Long Valley, John Steinbeck. The Sound of Thunder by Taylor Caldwell, another one of my brother's favorite authors. The Book of Ruth by Jane Hamilton. Author of A Map of the World, and I've read the Map of the World book, which is why I picked that one up. Fall on Your Knees by Anne-Marie MacDonald. This is on the 1001 Books You Must Read Before You Die list. A Lesson Before Dying by Ernest J. Gaines. Emergence by Stephen Johnson. This is nonfiction and one I've been looking forward to for a while. I have a murder mystery. Ooh. The Burning Room by Michael Connelly. The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by Arundhati Roy. I love the cover on this one. It's so pretty. It's got roses on the spine and more flowers in the back. They did a really good job on the cover on this one. The Reader by Bernard Schlink. And this one, I like the art on this one too. There was a printmaker in my art school when I was in art school that did similar art to that. And I like that aesthetic a lot too. The Age of Treachery by Gavin Scott. This is another one that was a Goodreads giveaway, and I've had it forever, and I need to read it. And I think it even has a bookmark, so I intended to read it a while ago. I just never have. And it's a murder mystery, so yeah, it's time. This one's an ARC that's white on the back, white on the spine, and has just the front cover. Truly Like Lightning by David Duchovny. I did like him as an actor. We'll see if I like him as an author. It's been a while since I got this one. I vaguely remember something about that. I got this one and then COVID happened, or anyway, it's been a while. Z, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald by Teresa Ann Fowler. Yeah, and check out her hat. That's the style of hat that my hat was trying to be in the other video. I don't know if I have the right hat for my face type, though. I need to work on that still. A Spool of Blue Thread by Ann Tyler. I do crochet, so I've been collecting hat patterns to crochet. So I might find a 20s, like teens or 20s hat to crochet that I like. That may be a project for later this year. Besides the Wench is Dead by Margaret Erskine. That is a murder mystery. If I Die in a Combat Zone by Tim O'Brien. And this is the same author as America Fantastica that I read in January. And I've read several of his books in previous years. So, kind of looking forward to this one. He seems to be a reliable author. Oh, and you probably heard of him from The Things They Carried, which is on quite a few book lists. Ford Maddox Ford, Parade's End. I was supposed to have read this last year. I watched the miniseries and I never did actually read this book. Yeah. Sea Road by Ursula K. Le Guin. There's another one that's white on the back. This one's just white on the back because it is. On Colonialism, a nonfiction book with articles from the New York Tribune and other writings by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels. And the last book for this video. Jhumpa Lahiri's Unaccustomed Earth. That was a lot of books, guys. Am I going to read them all? No. Am I going to read a lot of them? Quite possibly. There are also, of course, the murder mysteries that are not white. I'm not quite so single-minded on this, Realmathon challenge as I was for Battle of the Girl Bands. That might change. I wasn't planning on doing Battle of the Girl Bands. If I get really into Realmathon, who knows? But I do have quite a few murder mysteries I want to read that are not white covers, that don't have objects on the cover, that might not fit any prompts for Realmathon. And I'm quite okay with that for March. It's also going to be my birthday month, so I will be indulging my whim for book lists by showing off lots of books in each TBR that are on my TBR for the year. They are active TBR books, but short of showing you literally all my books, I've seen booktubers that have. I won't put you guys through all that. I actually did put several of those videos on in the background while I did stuff, so not everyone finds those kinds of videos unwatchable. But I have a feeling if I subjected you guys to seeing literally all my books, I wouldn't have that many viewers. I understand. That said, I do want to organize my books. I have a lot of books, and they're in a jumble right now. I do plan on getting more books. Certainly with it being a birthday month, I definitely want to get to a particular book shed that has paperbacks for $0.25 and hardbacks for 50 cents, and has remarkably good selection for literally being a shed full of books. So I do plan on getting more books. I did actually get one book, and it is white on the cover, so yeah. So yeah, I lied. This is the last book in the video. I found this one while binge shopping this past weekend. Educated by Tara Westover. Somebody else was reading this. Might have been Alex from Fact Fiction. I think so. Anyway, somebody that I chat with a lot was reading this, and it sounded really good, and they recommended it, and I found it while binge shopping. Binge shopping being that thing where you go to the Goodwill outlets where the stuff goes once the stores have pulled it because no one wanted to buy it, and it gets a last chance, and there's an etiquette to binge shopping, and it's rather intimidating the first time you go. You're buying by the pound instead of buying individual objects, more or less. Books at ours are 69 cents a piece, something like that. So books are a particular price each. And our cashier also gave us games and puzzles on the book rate, which I'm not sure was actually official, but it was really nice. Anyway, so I did get one new book already. I finished about 40 books in February, so my not buying books until I've read 20 that I own, I definitely unlocked my ability to buy books before I bought this one. So this month, I was good when I bought this book. But if I can go where I want to go to buy cheap used books early in March, I'm going because it's my birthday month. And I'm considering that to be a valid exception to my read what you own game. Yeah, so I plan to get more books, and I'd love to organize the books I have so that when I get new books, I can put them with their friends, and so I don't get too many duplicates of books I already have. So I will be organizing my books, and I might put some of that in videos. But I don't have a cute little camera. I have my laptop, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out logistically. If I figure it out, though, you might get to see some of the organizing the books project. Could be entertaining. So in the meantime, I have lots of books to read. I have 2 print books left that I'm still working on. Aren't they cute? Oh my goodness, they're still cute. There's only 2 left, and 2.5 hours of listening on the last audiobook. And then I'll be done with all of the prompts for Battle of the Girl Bands. So I'm going to go back to reading. I'm sure that this video will take at least an hour to upload. Maybe a little more than that. So hopefully I can make more progress in these guys while I'm waiting for this video to upload. If you are in REALM-A-THON, let me know, especially if you are also in team time. This should be fun. I will put the information for the REALM-A-THON in the description. I will not list every book that I showed in this video in the description because there is a character limit to the description size, and that's going to be a long list. Yeah, if you saw any particular book that you want to know more information about, talk to me in the comments, and I will write out the title and author in the comments for you if you like. And hopefully I will finish some of these and be talking about them in a lot more detail in about a week. So, yeah, I will also have a books I finished in February video coming up. But it's not the end of February yet, and I have at least 2 books left to include in that list. Even with all the audiobooks, I have a huge stack that I cannot hold and show in front of the camera in one stack for this month. So that will be fun. So expect a great books I finished in February video coming in 1 or 2 nights. That should be about it. I might do a couple more videos randomly, but I think mostly I'm going to be diving into REALM-A-THON, and the next video should be, after the books I finished in February video, the next video should be the video near the 7th of March for books I finished in the first week of March. So if all goes well, that should be the next time you see me. Unless I get drawn into a tag or, you know how it is. Yeah, let me know what you're doing in the comments, and I will catch you in the next video or in the next sprint or whatever. Bye, guys!